We have Amy Santiago. Amy continuously works to make an impact with purpose as she shines a light on a journey that has pulled her in many directions. From international charitable work with her husband of 10 years, Ruben Santiago, to national speaking engagements and eventually coming out of silence with her personal diagnosis of primary lymphedema in 2011, Amy has brought a global platform through her recent reign as Mrs. Florida International 2016. Please welcome Amy Santiago.
Good evening. Thank you everyone for coming. Prematurity is a very close subject to mine and my husband's heart, one we never thought that we would endure. Might I start off by saying impossible situations can become possible miracles. You know, routine visits to the doctor are never appointments I look forward to, as I'm sure you don't as well. And I've always feared they are leaving with another issue that would need further testing and or scanning, which somehow I was never able to bypass. When the question of, are you and your husband planning on starting a family, became a constant topic of conversation, I always found myself at a loss for words. After almost 10 years, why hadn't my body been physically capable of achieving what seemed natural for so many others? Before I could even gather my thoughts together, before responding each and every time, the inevitable shatter my dreams response was, Amy, your body is not capable of conceiving, so you may want to look into other options when you feel the time is right. It was a constant mental struggle to try and be at peace, yet emotionally taxing to believe I would never know what it was like to carry a precious life. In 2014, I was introduced to the world of the Mrs. Pageants. This ignited a desire within to utilize the opportunity for a purpose greater than myself. Through pageantry, you're encouraged to build upon a platform, and I was actually living my platform of lymphedema. This was a condition I was diagnosed with in 2011. And, you know, I have to say at least one of my dreams as a little girl came true, because after 2 years of competing, I captured the title of Mrs. Florida International 2016. With international travels and ambassador works already set out before me, I had huge plans. Although God had other plans set out before me. Weeks after my husband Ruben crowned me, we found out that we were expecting. This couldn't be. My body isn't capable of this, I was told. Why now? I didn't want to believe it. Was this really happening? But wait, this is what I had prayed for. We waited to share the news with even family until we received more solid answers from high-risk doctors, as I was experiencing what seemed to be normal complications from the pregnancy, but had already become familiar with the triage unit 3 times since it was confirmed this was a viable pregnancy. 6 short weeks after surprising my family with the news, I was scheduled to be in New York City for an event with my husband on the opposite coast in Las Vegas at the same time. Instead, neither one of us made our flights, and we were both unsure of the news we may receive, arriving to the triage yet once again, experiencing alarming complications at 4 a.m. that morning. I was admitted to Winnie Palmer Hospital, and within 24 hours, my high-risk doctor team, along with the NICU team, were all standing at the foot of my bed as my water had broke just moments before. While enduring contractions and trying to catch my breath, I couldn't at the moment. You are exactly 23 weeks today, Amy, and this baby is facing a 5% chance of survival, they said. Due to his lungs not being fully developed, we will not resuscitate if we cannot get a tube down the airway to provide the lungs with oxygen. I laid there staring at the clouds just outside my window, with tears streaming down my face, yet an indescribable amount of peace was in each breath I started to take again. We have all heard the word premature before, but have we ever stopped to think just what that word means and how it would affect us if we had to live through it? Having a premature baby is being given one of God's miracles in the midst of their creation, and He didn't bring me this far to only come this far. In that moment, there were many discussions happening around me, yet my mind was trying to find the silence to grasp the delicate and fragile, life-changing event that was unfolding. On September 17th, 2016, Brody Miles was born. He weighed 1 pound, 2 ounces, and 12 inches in length. As I leaned to my left shoulder, my first sight of my son's face was not the warmth of his body on my chest, as most mothers would experience. It was his Dr. Anna and the NICU team giving him breaths as he laid in a clear plastic bag to keep him warm. The next seconds, minutes, and hours turned into emotional and perplexing long days and lonely nights of beating the odds and watching our superhero miracle fight. The difficult journey would constantly change in a moment's notice, from the fear of the unknown to reaching huge milestones. Brody endured bilateral grade 4 brain bleeds that could have taken his life. He endured 4 surgeries, countless ultrasounds, MRIs, x-rays, eye exams on a weekly basis, blood panels, IVs, intubation, and feeding tubes, along with 7 different oxygen ventilation settings during his 148 days in the NICU. You know, I made sure to capture every single trial and triumph, because witnessing a miracle is impossible to put into words. To my family, the strongest support system I know, thank you for enduring the unknown journey with us and for joining countless others in prayer. The Gift of Life team reached out in a time of need and delivered care packages while in the NICU, and once we welcomed Brody home, something so simple yet so meaningful. Thank you to Dr. Anna Albertini and the incredibly passionate NICU team at Winnie Palmer Hospital. We are still in awe that we witnessed a true testament to faith that turned our 5% chance into life-changing blessings. And for that, we are forever grateful. 1 in 10 babies are born too soon in the US, and Brody's journey is one of those voices. You wonder why I encourage you to help spread and raise awareness when prematurity hasn't touched your life? Well, at one point, it hadn't touched ours either. I was silent long enough during my struggles of not being able to conceive, and I now believe with all my heart that Brody was given to me so that he too can serve a purpose greater than himself. He will be the testimony that brings someone else through their journey, because impossible situations have proven to be possible miracles. And here's mine. Brody Miles Santiago.
Looking right over here.
Thank you.
And up next, we have 2 other special guests to welcome to our stage.